Mike Ryan was whispering into the ear of Stugotz in a way that was sort of sensual, foreplay-ish, and he just said, Miami on the Stephen A list for LeBron James. The offseason starts right now.
Yep.
The King of Thrones stuff going on between Durant.
It's Game of Thrones. That's a font.
Did I make it King of Thrones?
You did? Yep.
And I believe your credit has now run out. You had a $3 credit.
I want to dispute this fine for a second. Hold on.
Can you dispute this fine?
Because my particular game is not Game of Thrones. The show is Game of Thrones. What Durant and LeBron are doing, I have called King of Thrones.
I mean, there's a little bit of Stugotz in everyone.
Yeah. When did you call it?
Didn't I earlier this week call it King of Thrones?
No, you haven't established it yet, and that's the problem.
This is you trying to establish it, and you're very clearly just trying to cover up for.
I am. Rest assured, I am lying on the stand. I am just simply trying to cover it up, but I feel like it's a good cover up. That right there in the key, replay game 1 changed everything of this series. That was a game of King of Thrones. Yeah. That was not a game between the kings for the throne. It was a game of King of Thrones.
What is the game King of Thrones? What are the rules?
It is here is the game King of Thrones. LeBron ruined the league. Durant ruins the league. Now LeBron has to spend the offseason ruining the league.
And the winner who ruins the league becomes the King of Thrones?
That's right.
Why
correct.
Thrones?
Right.
Because they've won multiple championships. There are more than one thrones. They're doing it across a decade.
LeBron has at least.
I think there's only one throne for the king.
Mm-hmm.
So thrones,
each year there's a throne for the king.
No, a king has one throne that they sit in. They don't commission new thrones every year.
It's a new throne.
The Iron Throne, but at King's Landing, everyone's fighting for that one throne to be,
Do you lose the throne?
The throne is just a position. It's just a vessel. What they're fighting for is the platform at the top of the standings. The place changes, and the bejeweled throne changes every time. Every year it's a different throne.
It's a cast iron throne. It's not
No, one year it is, but other years it's bejeweled. It's different every year.
Does the winner get all the old thrones? Like, is there a room full of thrones
No,
somewhere?
those are retired immediately.
Oh.
Guys, I don't like this multiple thrones thing.
It's a weird game. And
There's one throne, and people fight for that throne.
And we now have our proof that he did not establish it. 2 things. 1, we would be aware of it. Number 2 is you'd think it'd be, better worked out in his head.
Yeah.
Is a throne even really what you want? It's just a chair. Wouldn't you want like a crown or something?
Well, that's why the throne has to change every year. How bored would you get with a 40-year lease on a throne?
I don't want a chair someone else has been sitting on for a long time.
That's why you need new thrones every year. Which part are you not? What, are you arguing against me or against yourself?
Nonsense. The most prestigious championship in sports is a Stanley Cup, and there's only one of those.
I'd want a scepter before I want a throne. A throne is like on low or high on the totem pole of things you want.
Whoa, that's fine. You don't have to choose between those things though. When you win King of Thrones, you get all of them. You get the yearly new throne. It's part of a prize package. You get a scepter, obviously.
I'm starting to like this game. Do you get a jester?
Yeah, $5.
Did you say a jester?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I have one.
So is it part of the game?
I won't share him with anybody.
Thank you.
Even though yesterday he missed a segment while pooping.
Yeah.
And had to do Golic and Wingo, too.
Yes. But came running right back to you, like I always do. Right after a poop.
You also took your time.
I did.
You come running back.
It was a slow walk.
You were on the air 5 minutes during the local hour. In fact, the local hour, the vast majority of it was spent on Golic or Wingo.
Yeah.
That bears monitoring.
So LeBron's coming here, huh?
So where did Stephen A. put him on his Stephen A. list?
Well, I don't know if this means anything, but he listed them, and in the graphic that they chose to put on his Instagram page, the Miami Heat are at the very bottom. I don't know what this means. I don't think they're in order, but he listed the 7 teams that LeBron is going to have conversations with this summer, and there's a Cavs logo, a Warriors logo, a Sixers logo, a Celtics logo, a Rockets logo, a Lakers logo, and at the very bottom, a Miami Heat flame through a basket.
Wow. Seems to be in order. I mean,
it seems to be all bases covered. That doesn't allow any other possibility that has been mentioned by anybody. He covered all 7 of them. There is not an 8th option. No one is given an 8th option.
There isn't the mystery team. No mystery team.
Well, there will be before we're done. There will become a mystery
Denver.
team.
Dude, where did Denver? Is that Denver Nuggets music?
I told you guys a while ago it's going to be the Pelicans. That's going to be the mystery team. I'm telling you right now. That will be the mystery team that seeps into this game of King of Thrones.
Mike, I believe that Miami is your mystery team. I believe that Stephen A. just threw them
anymore,
in there because, not anymore. Stephen A. said it.
Well, the mystery team has the most level of excitement behind it. This is, you know what? You said something earlier in the week that kind of got me perking up a little bit. That if he has a conversation with the Heat, right now the Heat's roster, there needs to be some miracle work done to this roster to turn it over to make this appealing to LeBron James. I'm not saying it's impossible, because if anybody can do it, we all know it's Andy Ellisberg.
Yeah.
Well, so those of you who may not know, you remember the year that LaMarcus Aldridge was the big free agent. People didn't even understand why Pat Riley was meeting with him. They didn't have any money. Was Pat Riley trying to convince him?
They had $4 of cap room.
They didn't have anything. What was Pat Riley trying to do? And because it was Pat Riley, people are saying maybe he gets into the LaMarcus Aldridge game. And Pat Riley was only meeting with him so he could set up the idea of, hey, in 2 years, we've got this available if you need some options. Or in 1 year, we have this available. We're not going to be able to do anything now. But you meet him, you set the meeting, and then you do whatever you can to convince him, whoever him is, that you can have something prepared for them in a year. You could take the year. That is something. If LeBron decides to opt in for 1 year because he doesn't feel like his options are better elsewhere, although I think that would be I don't think that they could rebuild Cleveland the way that he could rebuild this more quickly somewhere else.
How could he view it that way? The Rockets or the Celtics not be better options than what he currently has? I mean, that's impossible, right? That's insane.
It seems like it'd be hard, but I don't know how they can move people around.
If you're Pat Riley, headed into this meeting, something major needs to have already happened to your roster around the NBA draft or something. Like, you need to go into that meeting, already have made a blockbuster for Kawhi Leonard to make your roster appealing, to get yourself even in a better standing with his camp.
Can't see it from where I'm standing. From where I'm standing, I can't look at their roster and see how it gets fixed that way, because you can't even say you jettison the contracts. Like, you can't even say you'll make the room. I don't know how they'd make the room. I don't know.
Don't you think they know?
I'm guessing they have an idea, but they are also in handcuffs. Like, there are, I don't obviously know the salary cap permutations the way anyone there does, but from everything I've read about the salary cap permutation, they don't have a lot of wiggle room. They're kind of stuck in a coffin here that's filling with sand.
Here's what I know about the salary cap. You can't just dump money. You need to get some money back. So you're clearing Hassan Whiteside, but one trade that I saw talked about on Twitter yesterday was, okay, Hassan Whiteside off the books, but you're getting back Dellavedova and John Henson. And money has to go somewhere in the deal.
You are, that's right. You're selling low, too, on Whiteside. Not low over the last 10 years, but certainly low over the last 2.
Why would he come here? Like, honestly.
Oh, it would just be because you're familiar. The only argument to be made for it, the only argument, is that LeBron, once again, has learned in Cleveland, this is not how I like my organization managed. I was bothered by Pat Riley. Just like he convinced himself, I can go back to Cleveland and make this work. I know the organizational structure. I know the ins and outs. The last 4 years may have felt to him in certain places, the way they were run, like he felt he needed more structure. And so if there's something he misses about the Heat organization, you'd be going back to a familiar girlfriend as opposed to getting back in the dating game with completely unfamiliar people.
So, like, for the organization, not for Wade, because Wade is 36 turning 37, and if he does what you said earlier this week, that he'd meet with them and then maybe come back another year, I mean, that'd be 37 turning to 38-year-old Wade. So it wouldn't be for that.
No, it wouldn't. The argument's not to be made. I don't think the argument's to be made about friendship unless they can figure out some sort of way to put everybody together next year. One of these Chris Paul, but I I can't see how they can make any of that happen.
You're saying Chris Paul, Carmelo, maybe Kawhi,
whatever,
something like that?
But I don't even know how appealing. I mean, all of this is pipe dream nonsense.
Well, what about this theory? Now that he's won his championship in Cleveland, he got that out of the way. Everyone's just assuming wherever he goes is to beat Golden State, and I'm sure he's that kind of competitor. But he's sort of blessed with the knowledge that wherever he goes, he's going to end up in the exact same position. As bad as this Heat roster is right now on the surface, you're telling me they're not in the NBA Finals if they have LeBron James? Because they're in the exact same position the Cavaliers are.
Yeah, but that's
right
not good enough.
But if he's already accomplished the one thing that he needed to accomplish, which was winning Cleveland,
they're beating the Celtics.
This isn't a bad space. Why not? If I'm going to do that, why not do it in a better place? Why not do it for someone who's not Dane Gilbert?
But you could also make the argument, why not just stay where I'm at? Because then people won't hate me again. Like, the nation will look at that as a weak move.
Well, but that's another one, though, right? I mean, I feel like all of that is diluted, right? The next move that LeBron makes, I mean, people get agitated because he hijacks the summer and he'll be on TV for every day with no new news. But I think people are going to enjoy whatever the next step is. He doesn't go to controversy with the next step, no matter where it is. It doesn't have any. What's the controversy on it? People realize, of course he's short. He needs to get more help. The Kevin Durant team's too good.
I think the nation realizes that, Chris, that he has to go somewhere. Like, he's carrying a team by himself. He needs to go somewhere. He needs help to beat this Golden State team.
Yeah, but if he goes somewhere else and he ends up in the same position, I think he's going to get laughed at. Like, why go somewhere else just to have the same failures over and over again?
But you give yourself the best chance. You don't think the Rockets or the Celtics are giving yourself a better chance of winning a championship? Of course they are.
Oh, yeah, but that's why I'm saying that I don't think that he'd come to the Heat. Why would he come to the Heat if he's going to be in the same spot that he's in?
Depends what comes with him.
Do you think part of him is liking all this attention and positive praise he's getting for being the guy? He's like, I know how the super team thing works. Now I know I can get to the finals.
But he'd rather, yes, you're right. I think I think that part's soothing. But if you told him right now you could trade places with Durant, he would in every way. Like, he wouldn't take the, hey, LeBron's such a lovable loser. Look how hard he tries. He'd rather have the trophy and be in the predicament that Durant's in, which is people are criticizing Durant, saying, you know, the shortcut guy. I think that you do it. I mean, he already did it once. LeBron already gave up more popularity than Kevin Durant ever had to come to Miami.
Helpful tip from Slim, our board op. You can trade a player and get no salary in return if they have the space. I don't know which teams have space. We'll look into it.
I mean, what space do they have?
No teams in the NBA have space right now, but there are contracts coming off the books. I'm sure there's a team that could take a contract off your books without giving you anything back as you head into an offseason.
Some encouraging news here. What if Stephen A. Smith subscribes to TotemPole.com and he has the Heat at the bottom of the totem pole? How about that? What do you think, Dano?
This is your bedroom. This is your bedroom with Blue Chew. Blue Chew uses the same active ingredients as in Viagra or Cialis, but now comes in chewable form. Chewable means better, cheaper, and works faster than pills. No in-person doctor visit, no waiting in line, no more awkwardness. 100% online at BlueChew.com, where your first order is free. Just pay $5 shipping. Use promo code DAN at BlueChew.com and restart the party.
Don Batard.
Billy, what is your top 5 people you want to see wake up in the morning because you want to see what they look like?
In no particular order.
No, they have to be in a particular order.
All right, fine. In particular order.
Number 5, Billy.
Stugotz.
Mel Kiper Jr.
Number 4, Billy.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Number 3, Billy.
Anderson Cooper.
Number 2, Billy.
John Travolta.
That'd be great.
Creepy. That thing he wears on his head is gonna crawl out of the closet onto his head. And the number 1 person that you want to see in the morning is
Beyonce. I want to know if she woke up like this.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
You can join us for Dan's Father's Day Fiesta, June 14th at Fogo de Chao in Miami Beach. You'll get to meet Dan, Billy, and new fathers Roy and Chris, along with other ticket personalities. Just register at theticketmiami.com for a chance for you and a guest to enjoy lunch and a fully loaded swag bag. You have it until before midnight on June 12th to register. It's Dan's Father's Day Fiesta at Fogo de Chao from your friends at $7.90 the ticket.
Not listed on that promo. If he's still with us, Chris Cody's father, Greg Cody's going to be at this event.
Yeah.
We're hoping.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's he feeling? I've sent him a couple of texts, and he has not responded.
I talked to him yesterday. He's got some prescriptions, and he's feeling better.
Okay, good.
It's amazing to me that he had something bad enough that required prescriptions, and he was just walking around like that with a constant cough for several weeks.
He's the worst with that stuff. He still thinks in his mind that he's like 30 years old. So when he gets like a little sickness, he thinks he can go like stay up late. He doesn't really take care of himself the way someone his age should.
I'll tell you what, I got some inside information. He needed 3. Not 1, Mike. He needed 3 separate medications for what was going on there.
And when he told me that, I'm like, wow, that sounds like it's probably something. He's like, nah, it was nothing. Just your standard cough.
Yeah, some doctors will just give you 3 or 4 prescriptions for anything. Have a scratch on my leg. Oh, here's 7 prescriptions.
They're all in cahoots with the
something's going on there.
Pharmaceutical companies.
You guys here in the shipping container, you guys took a meeting with the ticket yesterday about this event. It seems pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's at Fogo de Chao. Like, they had me there. Like, the event schment. All right. Have you had the food at Fogo de Chao?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, my God. The Brazilian steakhouse?
I'm excited.
Billy.
I think it'll be fun. You get to meet people, ask us questions. There's going to be a Q&A.
Oh, that's exciting.
You guys are responsible for the Q's. We're responsible for the A's.
I have so much parenting advice that I'm going to give out.
Really?
I mean, I've learned a lot in this 5 months. Because it's a Father's Day event, Billy.
Who do you think's a better parent, you or Roy?
Oof.
Oh, it's me.
Really?
You already know it's me.
Nope.
Guys, we have a Q contest here every day between Roy and Chris. Right now, Chris is winning because Roy stopped participating, so Chris is kind of running up the score on this because Roy doesn't want to give us any Q moments.
Yeah, I'm tired.
But if you guys have any Q questions, you can ask them Q questions. Chris's Q questions are usually just my daughter danced or something, and then Roy's like, I don't have anything, and then Chris wins.
Well, she's doing this thing now where she can kind of stand if I hold her hands up, and she loves standing, and she just gets this big smile. It's so cute.
Claire's starting to crawl now.
Oh, wow. Someone's trying to go up with the Q.
Well,
Wow.
you know, she's a month older than my daughter, so you know, you're supposed to do that first.
Wait until they crawl to your wallet and start digging your money out of it.
How do people go to this event? Because it's not. I know we've been clear on the promo messaging, but this isn't something that people can just show up to. This is an exclusive event, right? They got to register for this.
You go to theticketmiami.com. I think there's going to be 25 people selected. Hundreds have already gone into to try to get selected. So go now. Hopefully you get selected, and you can meet us. You can meet Zaslow. Amber will be there. There's going to be swag bags given away.
I'm excited for your dad being there, Billy, because you're kind of an odd person, and I feel like people are going to ask your dad questions about how Billy became Billy.
Yeah, and you go to Marlins games with your dad, and you're quite the popular dude over at Marlins Park. So I'm interested to see how he processes just your being.
Oh, he eats it up. He loves it. One of his favorite things to do when we're out is he'll wear like a show shirt or a show hat and hope that someone asks him where or how he got it.
Really?
And then he'll say, like, my son gave it to me. There he is over there. Like, that happened to me at Epcot once.
Oh, and you're the personality type that would just eat that up, too.
Yeah. Look, it's not that I'm just weird. I don't like talking to people that I know just because I'm uncomfortable, and I can only, like, I can go maybe 2 or 3 sentences, and then after that, it's like, that's the end of this conversation.
But what's your move to end the conversation? Because Dan's move is, as we know, you want a picture?
Yeah.
So do you have a move? Is your move, do you want a T-shirt?
It used to be, like, I just offer people shirts, and then, like, people would just come up to me, and they're like, I want a shirt, and it's like, wait, no, at least let's do the song and dance first, and, you know, then I'll offer you a shirt. But I started getting better, I think, at conversations, so I stopped offering shirts. Also, we don't have, like, an endless supply of shirts, and I realized I can't just bribe people with shirts to not talk to me because I get uncomfortable.
Doesn't happen to me very often, but the few times I've been recognized, my go-to is, how do you watch? Do you watch or do you listen? That's like my little conversation point of how do you take us? Do you watch or listen?
No, but that opens it up to more conversation.
You just opened up a portal.
Yeah.
A deadly portal.
You know what I think I'm going to start doing? I got to poop because no one's going to tell you. Like, if I tell them I have to go poop, no one's going to continue the conversation.
It's such a disarming thing, too. Hey, man, I'm sorry, I got to go. I really have to poop.
And yet it makes them feel like they're friends with you, so it's the perfect one.
Yeah, I wouldn't
actually.
share that with just a stranger.
Yeah, I'm comfortable enough to tell you I need to poop, but I also know this makes you uncomfortable because now you're picturing me pooping. That's actually not a terrible move. Yeah. Although that person has a really weird story to tell about their encounter with you. Yeah. It's an effective move if you want to get the hell out of there, I believe. Anyways, Chris Cody, you were telling me You were watching the Stanley Cup playoffs,
Yeah.
Stanley Cup Finals last night, and it's not just because there was a championship on the line. Because you don't strike me as this big sports guy. That just
I am a
wants to
guy
watch.
that shows up for the playoffs for hockey. Like, I enjoy going to games every once in a while. If I'm watching it on TV, it's probably a big time playoff game. So I was watching last night, but I couldn't help but I was rooting for Vegas only because of our former producer Charlie Hume's Instagram story.
Yeah.
He is so obnoxious about the Caps because he just moves to every different city and he thinks he can just become the fan of that city. Like, when he was here, he was a diehard Heat fan, he was a diehard Marlins fan. Now he's in Washington and he's all about the Caps, and his Instagram story made me root for Vegas.
I found out 3 days ago that Charlie was a Caps fan. And he has an old school Peter Bondra jersey that he's rocking. It's I'm having trouble keeping up because I've counted at least 3 NFL teams that he's a fan of. He's got the Rams, the Patriots, and now the Eagles. Now, I know the Eagles is a recent thing because his fiance is an Eagles fan, but the point remains he was celebrating an Eagles championship. So he has 3 teams to celebrate if they're indeed successful just in one sport alone. He's bi-coastal. I have no idea how to keep up with the teams that he follows.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a real Roy.
Yeah, Roy's got 3 Eastern Conference teams.
How do you have so many hockey teams and none of them won? Like, none of them even made the playoffs.
I don't have 3 Eastern Conference teams. I have 2 Western Conference teams and 2 Eastern Conference teams.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you're
so
bad.
Four teams in total.
Yeah, it was Vegas was the fourth one. So
my bad.
Yeah, you're bad.
Let's not forget he's also a Warriors fan. He's also a Patriots fan.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a Warriors fan.
Roy's a Sabres fan.
You guys didn't feel happy? I felt happy watching Ovechkin win.
I was super happy for Ovechkin. Super happy.
I don't even really care that much about hockey, but I always wanted him to win because he never won. And I remember that video where he almost decapitated himself, writing that event card in the arena when the thing was closing.
Also, rare the occasion where someone looks like the struggle they've actually endured in professional athletics, right? Yeah. Because he looks like all the heartbreak he's endured.
So for the casual person who doesn't watch hockey that much, what's a good comparison of Ovechkin? If I'm watching the NBA, like last night, who did I see in the NBA win their first title?
What you saw was essentially Charles Barkley if Charles Barkley won the title.
So, one of the best players in the league that this was all he needed for his resume.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always been the deal with Ovechkin. Look, he's always going to be remembered as the second best, but now it's going to be closer to a Larry Bird, a Magic Johnson thing. Wanted fewer championships, but they were sort of viewed on the elite level. For Ovechkin to cement his legacy, he absolutely needed that. And I got a kick out of it. And everyone says it's like the best celebration in sports, lifting the cup. I'm not here to doubt it, but I will say it's at times awkward. Because the captain gets it first, and then he does this real awkward skate in a straight line back and forth, and everyone does it, and they have to pretend yeah, this is awesome, woo! And they'll obviously inevitably curse, which NBC, you gotta learn to turn the mics way down low. I hate to be, armchair quarterbacking this, but you got the mic set close to a celebration, you're gonna hear some F yeahs. But NBC signed off in the coverage when it's okay, we're up to the 7th guy who's going to take the awkward skate up and back down. And that's all you do. Now, I know the real party is afterwards. And that's a great city to win a Stanley Cup. I can't imagine a better city to win a Stanley Cup in if you're on the road. And I'm actually seeing that take from Charlie, who was, on one because his Caps won.
Yeah.
That's a perfect city for it. But it is a bit awkward to me. Yeah. But it is the best trophy in sports because there's just one. I like taking the photos. Don't get me wrong, at all these Heat season ticket events where Alonzo Mourning's awkwardly telling me to re-up for my Heat season tickets, and I feel awkward when I don't because I failed Alonzo Mourning, but I get to pose with 3 Larry O'Briens. That's cool. You only get the Stanley Cup for 1 year, but everybody's name on it. On my day, if I'm on the Stanley Cup winning team, I would just look at the trophy and, man, look at that. It says Mark Recchi. This is amazing.
Has anyone ever dented the Stanley Cup? Has it been severely damaged?
You know what? We had the keeper of the cup on the show once. And that was actually a really interesting interview. And I believe there have been, dangerous moments with it. But, it's no worse for wear. It looks like $1 million.
I forgot how that works. Is that guy, when Ovechkin has it for a week or however long he has it, is that guy living with Ovechkin, making sure he's not doing anything too bad with it?
Well, the players have it for a day. And I'm sure he's around keeping an eye on the cup, too.
The cool thing is, though, they have it for a day wherever they want it. The cup has to fly out. If you say, hey, I want to spend my day with the cup in Australia, keeper of the cup has to get his butt on a plane and go to Australia, and you get your day where you want your day.
Wait, what happens with the rest of it? Because how many players on a hockey team? Like
Roy?
30, 20?
Yeah, just about, yeah.
So what happens the other 330 days a year?
It goes to the Hockey Hall of Fame or whatever event that it has to go to.
And then he can, like, leave it alone there, right?
Wait, there also has to be a period of time where the team gets to have it in-house at their front office so they can take pictures and they can have it at events. They have to have it on the premises for at least a period of time, right?
Yeah, at least for the home opener, yeah.
Like, I'm kind of wondering if there's, like, a husband or wife of the person that keeps the Stanley Cup, or if that's not, like, they're married to the cup, essentially. Because, like, if the guy has to go to the doctor's appointment, does he take the Stanley Cup with him? Because the guy is going to have human errands he needs to run. But if he always has to be watching the Stanley Cup, like, does he take it to the bathroom with him?
He has to have it in a secure location. So I imagine if he has to go to the dentist while he's on the road, he locks it up in his hotel room. But if he's on the road and an emergency happens, like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom and I don't have a secure location to put this cup, he has to take the cup in with him.
I like the idea of him putting the Stanley Cup, like, in a shopping cart when he has to go to Publix to get groceries, or, like, just doing mundane things, but he has to have this cup with him at all times.
Put his oranges in the cup.
I'm wondering how to apply for that job of keeper of the cup. Like, what do you think's on the resume? Like,
do
you have to have, like, security background so, like, no one's messing with you? Like, what's on his, like, how do you get that gig?
We should catch back up with the keeper of the cup. Because now we have all these sorts of new
Yeah.
questions. But you know what? I want to catch up with him after Ovechkin has his day. Because he looks that way not only because of the struggle, but he looks that way because of vodka.
Yes.
Washing my nose, oh yeah.
I'm a shower curtain, and I do one thing. Keep water from leaking everywhere. So you see why I feel useless compared to Geico, who does so much more. Like, not only could Geico save you money, but they've been around for over 75 years. And they give you 24/7 access online, over the phone, or on the Geico app. And they've got a 97% customer satisfaction rating. They do all this while I have to listen to this chucklehead. Oh, good, he stopped.
Washing my toes.
Oh, great, an encore.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Don Batard.
Aren't you trying to run a homeless guy out of your cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
You want to tell the people that story?
Stugotz.
There's a homeless guy who is living in our community up in Parkland, and I'm aware of him. I've seen him. I've given him a loaf of French bread, but I don't have the heart to kind of go to any, of the management there and rat him out. I feel bad for him. So my strategy is if I tell enough people, perhaps someone will go to management and get him kicked out. But now he's upgraded, man. He's got like a little scooter. Got a basket on it, so now he just drives around the neighborhood. And I saw him this weekend, and half the loaf of French bread that I gave him a week ago is still there in the basket. I told him to eat it already.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
Happy 41st birthday to Kanye West.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
Do you think he calls it his birthday?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
He celebrates for a week, right? At least, or a month. He has like a birthday month, Kanye West.
Yeah, I think a month. Yeah.
You think at 41? I think once you get after 40, you don't really do it that way. You're more steakhouses than nightclub.
We're talking about Kanye. Yeezy. You don't think he has a birthday
he's
month?
domestic now. He's a domesticated man. He's a suburban dad.
Because his wife doesn't have a birthday month?
What are you talking about?
What is going on? It's a great poll question, by the way. Does Kanye call it his birthday or his birthday?
Kanye's driving a station wagon these days. Like, what are you guys talking about?
My wife does this thing where she has a whole month for her birthday.
That's crazy. My wife also has a birthday month.
Like, and she doesn't just mean it like, oh, it's my birthday month. No. Like, she will bring it up. Like, if I ask her to do something or we fight about something, it's my birthday month. Like,
yeah.
No.
My wife has birthday life. I mean,
a birthday month?
You've never heard of this?
I've heard of a birthday week.
No. Birthday months are a thing.
Put it on the poll. Is your wife a high maintenance diva if she needs a birthday month?
No, it's not just a wife thing. Everyone does. Not everyone, but there are people of both genders that do this. Birthday months. Juan does this.
Now I battle with her about it. I'm like, oh, it's May. It's my birthday month too. And now I use it right back at her.
No, but that's like not the way it works.
It's like a tension now.
You buy yourself a bunch of gifts.
It's a birthday tension. You have months of birthday tension in your life now.
Does it work or no?
Not for me.
Well, he's not putting in maximum effort if she's complaining about it. If she's perpetually reminding him that it's her birthday month, it's because he's perpetually forgetting.
I have a complaint about birthdays, by the way. And Dan, this isn't against you personally, but I don't like people born November, December. I would prefer people to be born in like June, July. I like things spaced out for gifts, all right? There's nothing more annoying than the December birthday. And I'm surrounded by people with late November, December birthdays. And it's like the end of the year. I have to buy everybody like 4 presents. Because everybody I know has a November birthday, December birthday. And I'm buying them birthday presents and Christmas presents. And can we just be born in June and July?
You can actually put down a down payment to the November and December present with $2.
I was going to keep it going, so I'll just stop.
Nah, because I'm with them, to be honest with you. Well, I don't know about November, December, but I don't like my dad. So I got a couple of June birthdays that just wreak havoc on my life. All right. My dad, his birthday is the day before Father's Day. So I have to get him 2 gifts. And my wife's birthday is 2 days before Father's Day. So even Father's Day becomes, I have to get her a gift, right around that time.
My wife's birthday is coming up, and it's always Father's Day weekend, and I'm always caught in between my dad being a diva. Why don't you want to celebrate Father's Day? I'm like, it's my wife's birthday. And then my wife is like, why are you letting him?
We have to explore your relationship with your father. Can we get to those texts that we haven't gotten to in months? Like, we have to explore your relationship with your father is really unusual. Mike Ryan's father is, and I don't know what his dating situation is at present, but Mike Ryan is stuck in one of these situations where his father is the good-looking single man in his 60s. And so now, there are dating details that are shared. Hulk Hogan's going to join us at 11:30 Eastern. There's a reason I think about that. Just go read the internet about his son and something that he did with twins. Anywho,
I'm actually going to that event with my dad. It's a pseudo Father's Day present, but I don't want to present it.
Wait a minute. You're going to Hulk Hogan having sex with twins with his son? You're going to a performance. Your dad's into that?
No, I'm taking my dad to the Ric Flair Hulk Hogan event at Hard Rock. Ric Flair was kind enough to invite us.
Wait, is Father's Day this weekend?
No.
It's next week.
So I'm going to hear this. You know what? My father's going to say, remember, Father's Day is next weekend. And still try to spend time with me, even though I'm giving him what he wants for Father's Day, which is just me. He's very jealous of my wife, my father. Very jealous.
That can be that's a parental thing sometimes, where your father or your mother wants you to have grandkids, just not with someone else.
I'm in a really difficult position with my dad, and I don't know how many people can empathize with this or whatnot. So I have a very small, blood family, okay? I'm all my dad has. My side of my dad's family is just my dad and me. And he's this career bachelor.
That explains some things. As an only child with no siblings.
I have siblings. I have siblings. My mother remarried because she had to get the hell out of that situation. I have a half-sister somewhere. I don't talk to her. Anyways.
Sorry to laugh.
No, it's okay.
Is it?
I think she's in Louisiana. I think she's in Louisiana.
I have a half-sister somewhere.
I think it's in the SEC.
Better to laugh than to cry, I mean.
So my dad is super high maintenance. He's so set in his ways. He's not changing. This man was an only child, and he was an only child to Cuban immigrants. He himself is a Cuban exile. So, Cuban mothers, they dote. And he got everything, even though they had nothing. Anything that they did have, he got. And that's a very difficult transition when you start dating and grow up. And there's a reason why he can't keep a relationship. He's been married twice. Both ended in divorce. He's never going to get married again. I'm going to have to take care of this person because he is so selfish. And he's going to shame me every time I don't speak with him on the phone every day. Every time I see my dad, every time I pick up the phone, it's, why haven't you called me? Why haven't you seen me? I'm literally here, Dad. And it's 5 minutes of just complaining about how I don't see him. So that's where I'm just approaching everything with my dad. So I'm taking my dad to this thing, but I haven't yet presented it the way that I want to present it as a Father's Day gift, because that's all he wants. Just one-on-one time without that wife Cynthia mucking things up. Right?
Is mucking really the word you were going to use there?
So I'm giving it to him as a just sort of, hey, because I love you thing. And just hoping that next week he realizes.
But, all right, the spirit, though, of, hey, I love you thing is not the spirit where he needs it. It sounds like he's a little needier than, hey, I love you thing. He needs it to be a little softer than that. He's an old man who needs his son to give him something that feels like not, hey, I love you thing, but hey, I love you.
But the thing is, he's not this old man. He's not this old man, though. He's in his 60s. but he's in really good shape. And he looks very good for his age.
He look. Your dad has a little Alan Thicke in him.
Yeah. I am doomed to take care of this person until he's 120 years old.
That.
This all seems like an elaborate justification for not wanting to spend back-to-back weekends with your dad.
I mean, that's what it is.
Look, dude, straight up, I'll tell you, I don't.
I know, but that's why you're giving off. But that is why you're giving off to him that it's "Hey, and I love you" thing, as opposed to just "Dad, I love you."
Guys, here's how my dad is. I was considering going to Japan for vacation. I settled on the Pacific Northwest, but I was considering to go to Japan. And one of the main reasons I didn't go to Japan was my dad telling me, "Oh, why aren't you taking me?" And I had to explain, why am I not taking you on my vacation that I'm going with my wife to? Why am I not doing that? He didn't get it. He always says, "You never want to take trips with me." I don't want to take trips with my dad. You know, I'm a 32-year-old man. It's kind of weird. I want to do my own thing. I either want to be with my wife or I want to explore a city with my friends. I don't want to go with Dad. And he doesn't get it, and he's so hurt by this. It made me cancel a Japanese vacation.
That is why the same thing has happened to me, and that is why I have kept my father as far away as I possibly can from all my professional stuff. So this is the happy medium we've got. The happy medium is what we presently have. That's him meeting me in the middle on my professional stuff.
So do I give them the good presents for their birthday or Christmas? Because it's too close, and I don't know who likes which one better.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I got birthday and Father's Day back-to-back. You got back-to-back weeks. I got back-to-back days. I mean, I don't know what to do. Do I get him one gift for birthday and Father's Day? Do I get him a nicer gift for his birthday than I do for Father's Day? I don't know how to handle the situation. I botch it every year.
But you and I, Dan, we're similar in that we're Cuban and we have Cuban dads, but we approach this differently. And I don't know if this is a generational thing. I don't know how many people are with me because Billy's is a contemporary of mine, and he's very close with his father. His father goes to a lot of them. He's very close to his family. This might be a Cuban thing where you bring your family out with you to your... I don't want to bring my dad to things.
So this year, Stugotz, I went crazy. My girlfriend's birthday is in December 7th.
Yeah.
Then Christmas is December 25th.
Ooh, that's annoying.
And I just started buying things, and I'm like, I'll just figure out what to give her for what event. And then I bought something. I'm like, this is going to be great for Valentine's Day. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to give it to her for something. And then I need to get something for Valentine's Day, too. I spent a fortune this year on presents for her.
I do want to set the record straight, though. I do love my dad. We just have nothing in common, and generally we fight all the time.
It's a very small window when you consider birthday, Christmas, Valentine's Day. You might have to do a little something nice for New Year's as well. I mean, you are really in quite the predicament here. I am sorry, my friend.
This is a Cuban thing, though, Mike. I do think that you're right. In a lot of instances, when it comes to the rearing of kids, the general attitude, I'm not making this the case about everybody, but with Americans, it tends to be 18 years old, we're done here, right? You're good. Go get out in the world. It's time for you to grow up and be an adult. And with Cubans, it's not quite like that. It's like, yeah, you just hang around until, as long as you like, you can live in the house until you like. Like, it is different with Cuban men.
Stugotz, my daughter was born on December 22nd. Oh, so my wife and I were discussing possibly once she gets older and we're doing the whole birthday thing, we do a half birthday. So around June or July, we throw her a birthday party and just say it's your half birthday. And then around December, she gets Christmas.
That's dumb.
Yeah. So that's what's going on here, because I'm Cuban American. My mom was Irish Italian from New York. My dad was obviously, I told you how he was raised and doted on by Cuban exile parents. My dad's used to one certain thing, but my parents got divorced. My dad was a weekend warrior until my mom passed, and I had to move in with him, which is another weird dynamic, because I didn't spend any sort of extended period of time with him. And then all of a sudden, in my most formative years, I have to move in with my dad, and he's traveling all the time.
You don't sound bitter at all about that.
You know, I actually went to a half birthday party last year, and guess what month it was in? December. And then I'm like, wait a minute, do I need to buy a present for a half birthday party? Because if someone throws a party, you should take something, right? But this is for someone that's turning 6 months old. They're turning 6 months. So then I'm like, what if I buy a present, I cut it in half, I'll give them half the present now and half the present for their actual birthday, but a 6-month-old's not going to find that funny, and neither are the parents if I give them a broken present.
He doesn't like sports. I like sports as a kid. Well, why won't you play catch with me, Dad?
If I get invited to a half birthday, I'm telling you, the gift that I'm going to get is a sign that simply reads, "You're dumb."
I didn't know I was weird bringing my parents everywhere because I hung around with so many Cubans that it was the normal thing. I was talking about this with Jamel Hill last night. She was talking about, is the family reunion a black thing? The family reunion. Because she was saying, do you guys do reunions? Is the family reunion a cultural thing? Because I didn't know that I was weird bringing my parents to places, just wanting to include them in things because I was hanging around with so many Cubans who were doing the same thing. So it became our normal. And next thing I know, I look up and my father's sitting next to me on television.
Here's another thing I don't like. 6-month birthday parties, half birthdays. I don't like those. You know what else I could do without, Stugotz? I don't need to be invited to a baby shower. I'm not going to get offended if I don't get invited to the baby shower. The last thing I want to do is go to a baby shower. Please don't include me in that. When I have kids, I'm not going to the baby showers.
I romanticize the thought of a reunion where it's just one set date a year you can just, hey, I love you, so great seeing you, oh my gosh, all this love. But instead, I carried this burden.
A slow drip.
Yes.
A Chinese water torture of fatherdom.
I'm the only one. Dan has a brother.
That's right.
Gonzo has Lourdes. It's just me. It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
The key to the baby shower is, and this is why it happens, okay? You invite as many people as possible because you don't want to pay for the gifts you need to get for the baby. So, Bill, you just get him a gift and you don't show up. That's it. You're done.
I was 14 years old, and he made me get on my knees at a movie theater just so he could say, hey, here's my 4-year-old son so he can get the discount. He's cheap as hell.
My father did that to me 2 months